Hi, my name's Chloe and I'm a fourth year physiotherapy student at Glasgow Caledonian University. So I'm currently on placement with the CSP, and one of the tasks that we were set was to ask from a student's perspective what makes a great placement. So we put together this short video of student interviews. They're answering questions and it's given us the opportunity to kind of shape a picture of what we think makes a great placement.
For me, the moment that made my placement was when I was able to take my first patient and complete the whole assessment, give a diagnosis and formulate a home exercise programme for them without any input of the physio. It was just the confidence boost that I really needed at that point.
My practice educator told me that I could be part of their team. She was like, you really fit into this team, like, it'd be great to have you to working with us. And that really helped me believe in myself, because I knew that she believed in me as well.
A moment for me that made my placement was, it was coming to the end and my practice educator turned to me and she said, Chloe, what am I going to do without you? And it honestly made me feel so valued.
For me, it was putting me into situations where I had to be independent. For example, she allowed me to do a brief subjective with a patient by myself. She was standing beside me, but it allowed me to take that independent role. It really was a confidence booster, as I'd clearly gained the trust of my practice educator.
Probably just being open and welcome. I have dyslexia, so I felt like I was able to go to my practice educator whenever I needed extra time reading patient notes or writing them. If I ever needed clarity on how to spell complicated medication, if I ever needed them to read over my notes if I was unsure of anything, they would always be more than supportive.
The best thing my educator has done for me is allow me to be me and encourages me to be me, and she constantly says to use my strengths, draw on my strengths, identify my strengths. Don't worry about what we can't do, focus on what you can do, and we have so many strengths.
When educators, they don't give their full attention to students, and sometimes you often feel neglected.
I'd say there was probably one experience where I felt discouraged on placement, and that was when I received feedback from another professional that was quite critical but not constructive, and I think that was quite disheartening and discouraging at that point in time.
I did a presentation and halfway through it was kind of lunchtime, and then I just felt that I didn't really get the encouragement back from that. I wasn't sure how I did, and it was kind of just brushed over like, yeah, okay, cool, now let's move on. And that kind of discouraged me. Like I quite like to know how I was doing.
I know you can't read our minds, but sometimes she might be struggling and they're too afraid to let you know, without seeming like they are incompetent or clueless, but check in on them, and even if they say I'm fine, really check in on them and see how they're finding this.
For me, it's the more feedback, the better. I respond so positively to feedback. I think everybody does. I think knowing that I'm on the same page as my educator is really useful. I want to know where I'm doing well, I want to know where I can improve and where they think that I can improve as well.
Never underestimate how much even the tiniest bit of praise can impact a student.
Communication, interpersonal skills, leadership, time management, so many transferable skills, and I'm loving it.
Confidence in working and speaking to patients, confidence working within a multidisciplinary team, working in different environments, sometimes pressured environments, and having the chance to use the skills and the knowledge that you learned at university.
It also familiarises me with the professional working environment that I'm going to be going into, and also enables me to work with the other professionals as well, so nurses and OTs that I haven't necessarily spoken with before, and I also learned some really good skills.
So as much as this video is from a student's point of view, we do want to acknowledge and encourage all the amazing ways in which practice educators are supporting their students, so a massive thank you for all your efforts.